Welcome to the GCN Tech Show. This week, myself and Manon, we're reunited back in the set and the Tour de France is in full swing. We've got loads.
We've got new Mavic wheels, new titanium bits, your upgrades, the bike vault and all the hot tech from the Tour de France.
Let's do it. First up, the poll from last week in the GCN app. We asked you, if all the riders had to use the same bike in the Tour de France, would the result of the race be different? And, well, the results of that poll were 73% of you said no, meaning that 73% of you think that bike tech makes no difference whatsoever.
Well,
just tears the tech show to pieces. What do you think?
I don't think it'll make too much of a difference to the result, but it would be interesting to see. But yeah, there's obviously it all comes down to the legs and all the power and the team behind it.
I don't know. I think in something like the team pursuit at the Olympics, it makes a huge difference.
Yeah,
We've
that would
seen
be
that.
really interesting to see.
And I also think while it doesn't necessarily make a difference at the Tour de France, it can do.
Oh,
so
yes,
if you took the most optimized setup and placed that against the least optimized setup,
That'll be a big jump.
you could have a jump of like 20 watts or something quite conceivably from what we've seen. So and that's everything: tires, drivetrain, aerodynamics, everything. So
Interesting.
I don't know, interesting.
Well, on to our main talking point this week, and it is all about the hot tech at the Tour de France this year.
Yes, and firstly, the big thing that I've spotted, right? Tubeless tyres are being used more and more and more. I'm a big fan of this. I love tubeless tyres. All my bikes are set up tubeless.
Do you like
now.
tubeless?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Specialised sponsored teams are using Roval clinchers and S-Works tyres because the rolling resistance offsets the weight gain of the tubeless. And interestingly, they aren't running tubeless, they're running latex inner tubes instead.
Yeah, it is interesting that. I'm not exactly sure why. But EF, they're sponsored by Vittoria, and we've seen tubeless setups on their wheels and tyres as well, which is again interesting because teams are realising now that there is this rolling resistance gain to be made and the opportunity to seal punctures on the fly.
I feel like you could sell tubeless to anyone.
Well, more and more teams are appearing to use it, and I think we'll see even more teams using it in the time trial as well.
We'll see. Jumbo-Visma are really taking the marginal gains seriously this year. The team is sponsored by Bianchi, but they're only allowed to use the Ultra X R4 and not the super lightweight Specialissima climbing bike.
Yeah, well, this is because aero trumps weight. Despite being a few hundred grams heavier over the UCI limit, the Ultra is an aero bike, and physics, right, says that it will be faster in most situations, including this one.
I haven't heard you mention that before, Ollie.
Aero. It's real.
Aero is life.
Yeah.
Everything.
Well, in a bid to save more weight on their frames, more marginal gains and more weight over what they had on last year's bikes, they've forgone the traditional Celeste paint job that they're known for on their team bikes in favour of these stealthy black affairs. Now, this is apparently said to save around 80 grams per frame set, which is
quite a lot.
Pretty significant.
Paint,
yeah. And I'm surprised, to be honest, that it's not more than that. Paint weighs a surprising amount once it's added to a frame and fork. I once had a bike that was stripped of its paint and specially treated with a thin layer of lacquer by Ali from Fat Creations, and it saved over 300 grams off the frame and fork.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
It's funny you should mention Ali. I'm doing a DIY custom paint job on my bike soon. I'm going to pay him a visit so he can teach me a thing or two about custom paint.
Show you some moves.
Yeah, hopefully.
Look forward to that.
Yeah.
That'd be good. If you've got a lot of time on your hands, you could get the sandpaper out and the wet and dry paper and just rub all the paint off your frame and save a load of weight at home while you're sat on the sofa watching GCN. Just be careful not to rub too far and go through the carbon itself,
don't
and
do
also
that.
be aware that you're going to completely invalidate your frame warranty as well.
Yeah. Maybe don't do that. Interestingly, this is just for the Tour de France though. I've been watching Trainio Adriatico over on the GCN Race Pass and they're on the normal Celeste bikes.
Yeah, that is quite interesting. I think paint technology has been a huge area of innovation over the last couple of years.
Yeah.
A lot of top-end bikes are now coming with much lighter paint finishes. The Sunweb team last year, and they're continuing to use it this year, have their really light kind of vapor coat thing that they get applied at Silverstone. It's like Formula One technology. Adds only a few grams to their Cervelo bikes, which is really cool. But Jumbo-Visma are doing something else to try and keep the weight of their bikes down, and that is using these unbranded carbon wheels instead of the normal Shimano sponsored wheels that they would normally use, which would normally be Shimano C40s.
The wheels appear to be unbranded Corima WS tubeless, which are said to be considerably lighter than the Dura-Ace C40s that the team would usually use.
Yeah, it's interesting that. That's something that else that I've spotted on the De Koenig Quickstep and Bora Hansgrohe bikes.
Go on.
Cool detail. That they appear to be using different disc brake rotors.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so I spotted this on Hershey's bike and Alaphilippe's bike. It looks like they're using XTR Shimano disc brake rotors instead of the normal Dura-Ace ones.
I mean, it hasn't held them back on the descents. Hershey, on that descent, he was just opening the gap.
Yeah, on the Marie Blanc before the rest day.
Like a demon down that descent.
Yeah, ridiculous. Well, and both him and Alaphilippe on Col d'Ez on stage 2.
Yeah.
Killing
I
it.
could descend like that.
Yeah. Now, I've done a bit of research to see why this might be the case. Looking at the weight of the two rotors, the XTR rotor looks to be ever so slightly lighter as well. Only in the region of, 5-10 grams, something like that. But marginal gains,
it's all
maybe.
about marginal gains.
Yeah, the psychology, getting the rider's head. You can actually see it because it's got bigger holes in the sort of exterior fin of the rotor on the sort of braking surface. So, there you go. Also spotted 5239 and 5441 tooth chain sets on the bikes of Movistar and Trek Segafredo, who are both sponsored by SRAM and therefore use the 12-speed SRAM Access group set. Now, these ratio chain sets are not available to the public, only to the pros, but they're now starting to look like the sort of finished article, like they might be a production version available to the public. I mean, I don't know, I'm speculating here, but they look cool, yeah.
Valverde had a pretty tasty looking bike too. The new Canyon Ultimate CFR. And it's a black bike with a mirrored Canyon logo, and it just looks super cool. And it's said to be 144 grams lighter than the previous model.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of that. I think that looks really, really
cool.
smart, that matte black and silver. Really nice. I'll tell you what, continuing with the trend and philosophy of marginal gains, Ineos, they're not stopping. Have you seen their luminous green musettes?
Yeah.
So this is a clever idea.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah, so the idea is that they use these bright green, luminous, glow-in-the-dark musettes, and then they stand out much better in the feed zone when the soigneurs are holding them up, so that the riders can clearly see where their musette is much more easily.
Yeah. I wonder if all the other teams will clock onto that and everybody will have bright orange, green, luminous musettes.
And then it'll be like you won't be able to see the wood for the trees if everyone's got luminous
They might
musettes.
go back to black then.
I think, they probably will. They will have thought of everything. They'll always be one step ahead.
Yes.
Yeah. Any other tech you've spotted?
Not sure if it's tech, bit of a fashion tech.
Oh, that's
Everybody
tech.
seems to have really big sunglasses on.
Yes.
I feel like it's a fashion trend.
They do. It's definitely, this year is definitely, I think, the year that everyone wears massive shades.
Yeah.
You think like a few years ago, not too recent past, the only rider that was sort of known for wearing big shades, Luca Paolini, swanning around the peloton, playing Angry Birds on his phone, getting fined by the UCI and wearing his big Victoria Beckham Assos shades.
Yeah.
He was like the only one in massive shades. Not anymore.
No, I'm not sure about them though.
Yeah?
I think we should have a poll on the GCN app.
Yes.
Massive sunglasses, hot or not? Head over to the GCN app to vote. Another thing I noticed was a very nice looking watch on Alaphilippe's wrist, and it's a Richard Mille. Guess how much?
200 quid?
A bit more.
£2,000?
120 grand.
120 grand for a watch?
Yeah, and it's said to weigh 32 grams.
It's more than a house.
Yeah, it is, yeah.
Does it do his heart rate?
No.
I'll stick with my Whoop, thanks. Be all right.
Another interesting fact, Mark Cavendish had a similar watch and he actually crashed in it. And guess what?
That was expensive.
It went up in value, the watch, because it had scruffs on it from his crash.
It went up in value?
Yeah.
That is mad. Do you know what, right? Well, based on that logic, I'm going to go outside now, I'm going to crash and scuff up my Whoop, get it on eBay.
Good luck with that, Ollie. Mavic has a new owner, having been put up for sale earlier in the year, and they have just released some very nice looking wheels. These are the Cosmic SLR 45 disc road wheels.
Yeah, vital statistics for you. First, the depth, 45 millimeters. Clue is in the name. Also claimed to be 1,470 grams a pair. The internal rim width, 19 millimeters. External, 28 millimeters. They also have stainless steel bladed spokes and apparently easy tubeless compatibility as well.
There's more to these wheels than meet the eye. The rims are pretty cool too. They no longer have rim tape, which saves weight, but also makes the tubeless compatibility a lot more reliable, and they don't leak.
Yeah, rim tape can tear and just sort of wear out and leak over time, can't it? They also have a special technology inside the rim called 4. Right, which has come from Mavic's Cerium line of wheels. So you can see on this graphic, there's actually an aluminium insert in the bottom of the rim. And what this does is provide a more secure anchor point for the spokes to go into, but also it helps strengthen the rim and mean that because you've got that strength in the bottom of the rim where the spokes are going, it means you can actually make other areas of the rim lighter. So although you're adding this aluminium insert on the inside, Mavic reckons that this actually makes the overall rim 40 grams lighter in total. Like the sidewall thickness of the rim can be reduced as well, which is, pretty cool tech.
The nipples are external too, and Mavic say that this makes the wheel slightly less aero, around 2 watts, but it's a trade-off for the serviceability of the wheel.
Yeah, and they actually say that then they can offset this, they can mitigate the nipples being external by having elliptical shaped cross-section spokes, which they reckon saves 4 watts in aero over using a traditional flat-bladed spoke. They also have their ID360 hubs on there as well, which we've seen on a few of their previous wheels. I'm a fan, to be honest. I like the carbon pattern on the NACA rim profiles. I think they look good. Nice job, Barry. Finally, in hot tech this week, Sturdy Cycles have teased some rather nice titanium tech. And if you're unfamiliar with Sturdy Cycles, they're a bespoke frame builder based in the UK, headed up by Tom Sturdy, often exhibit at the Bristol Bespoke Bike Show. We've seen a rather nice work there on several occasions. Unfortunately, like many things this year, the Bespoke Bike Show was cancelled, but it looks like they're still producing some really cool stuff.
Yeah. Last year, we saw some really cool 3D printed titanium lugs on the frames. They are expanding their offering on titanium. Check this out on their Instagram page.
Yeah, so it appears to be some, custom titanium cranksets and direct mount chain rings that can go on them. And according to the Instagram post, they can be made to measure depending on your preference, available in 1x and 2x options, and a conservative estimate at the weight is around 400 grams, which is very light, but they look really cool, don't
nice.
they? Like custom titanium cranks and chain rings. Nice,
tasty.
Very nice.
Cha-ching! It's now time for Screw Around Upgrades Buy Upgrades, where you send in upgrades that you've made to your bikes and cycling lives for a chance to win the ultimate prize. GCN cap.
Oh yeah.
Ollie, model the cap.
On it. What do you think of that? Bit of luft action there.
Looks great.
Yeah?
Yeah, really good. Anyway,
cool.
Before we get on to this week, let's take a look at last week's result and who's won the GCN cap.
Last week we had Gweed with his revamped Giant Defy versus Jay Porcas and his repainted steel doors. Which one did you like best?
I like both of them.
Oh, ever the diplomat. Well, it was quite close, but Jay Porcas with his steel doors, he takes it 58%.
It was close.
Yeah, get in contact. Cap, we'll get sent out to you.
A fresh one, not that one.
All right.
Sweaty head.
God. Anyway, right, who have we got this week, Manon?
First upgrade in this week is in from Asleen. I got this giant OCR frame off Facebook Marketplace for £15.
That is a bargain, isn't it?
That is.
I used to have one of those frames as well, you know, an
Did you?
OCR. Yeah, I used it as like a winter bike. It's a good bike, yeah,
Good.
solid.
4 months later, the upgrade is done. Frame ended up being sanded down to the metal, repainted with spray dot bike. Wheels are 40mm deep with a flip-flop hub.
Ooh.
Ignore the chimney. as it's being sold. So the new owner may want to change the setup. Also, a horizontal dropout on the OCR, so the chain tensioner was needed.
Right, Astley, I see what Astley's doing here. He's using us to advertise and sell his bike he's done a sort of like wheeler dealers on his bike. He's revamped it, and then he's thought, right, I'll get it on the GCN Tech show and use them to advertise and sell
value
it.
Now.
Yeah. Well, if he gets Cav to crash on it, it'll be worth even more.
True.
It looks good though, doesn't it?
I really like the red from the before bike. Maybe that's just
it was a nice paint job before. I do like what he's done with it. I like that sort of blue thing with the white going on. That's cool. It's cool. Although it's a shame that he's had to use the chain tensioner on the single speed and wasn't able to use a half link chain or a thingamy-bob.
Thingamy-bob.
An eccentric hub. But yeah, that's pretty cool.
That's cool. It's a good upgrade.
It is a good upgrade. It's not going to be plain sailing though for Astley.
Oh no.
Because he's up against Drucifer. And Drucifer says that he's got his grandpa's 90s Diamondback Sorrento, right? And it was just collecting dust in the garage. So he's taken it, he's turned it into a drop bar bike. Wasn't sure what colours he was going to go with, and he's got these old tyres, and he's used a bit of Celeste in there. Again, Spray Dot Bike getting a lot of love amongst the GCN upgrade community. Are you going to use it when you do your custom paint thing?
No, I've actually chosen a different paint that Fat Creations recommended that he uses.
Well, I'm looking forward to that. He says he bought all the parts off eBay and some from his local bike shop as well. He put a new rigid fork in the Sorrento, Salsa 52cm cow chipper bars, a SRAM GX rear mech with microshift bar end shifters, 7-speed 1434 three-wheel. It's slow, he says, but a ton of fun. And that's the main thing. He's got FSA cranks, race face chainring, Brooks B17 saddle, classic upgrade, that one. And and of course, appealing to you, man, gold chain, fist pump through the Perspex Corona shield.
It's an Ollie shield, actually.
Right, well, there you go.
It's got an upside down chimney.
Yeah, well, inverted chimney.
Yeah.
That's, do you know what? I'm loving the sort of colour coordination of the bar tape.
Yeah.
And the tyres and the pedals. That's, and the bottle cage. And then the graphics on the frame. That's really cool. It's like a sort of retro, cool gravel bike type thing going on. That's just like you say.
You'd look cool on that.
It's just a load of fun, isn't it? And that's the thing. It's all about, taking something from the scrap heap, upcycling it and making it fun. Yeah. In the spirit of the upgrades, I'm loving what you've done there. I think that's absolutely fantastic.
Can we have a tough one this week?
Yeah, but the other cool thing is then he's taken a picture of it with a load of bike packing bags on and showing that you can go on adventures on it as well. And he's created himself an amazing adventure bike. I think it's brilliant. Really cool. Really like it. And I love the fact that it hasn't cost much money. You've got something brilliant there. That's what I'm
you like that one,
I'm digging it. I think it's ace. I think it's really cool. But it's not up to us. So, you know what to do. Click on screen. You can vote on the poll in the app. Time now for the Bike Vault, where you submit pictures of your bikes using the GCN app, and we judge them to be either nice or super nice. If they're super nice, Manon's going to ring the bell, and they go into the Bike Vault forever.
I was going to say, do you want to ring it, but it's on my side of the shield,
it's your side of the
I'm going to ring it.
Also, I'm pretty excited, because this is the first time we've been able to do a Bike Vault in ages together.
Yeah, it has been a while.
So, let's get going. Without further ado, we have this week's first entry, which is Sean Swan 84, the 84th Sean Swan, with his heavily modified Specialized Alley Elite. What do you make of that, Manon?
There's a lot going on here.
There is a lot going on.
There is a lot. I mean,
there's a lot of weird yellow colour coordination going on.
Is that a gold chain or a yellow chain?
Appears to be a yellow chain, and he's also looks like he's painted his Shimano 105 chain set with some yellow as well. Put some yellow accents pretty much everywhere.
Yellow everywhere.
I like the yellow cable housings. They're lightweight yellow cable housings as well from Jaguar.
Yeah, I like the yellow on the inside of the forks as well.
Yellow accents on the Mavic wheels, naturally.
Yes. Good coordination.
Yeah, I mean, is he paying it? It's Biggie almost smalls.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you what, look at that. He's even got like yellow cable
at the end.
Caps on the ends of his brake cables.
Is that,
see that on the front
is that a phone or a bike computer? I think it's a phone.
It's a phone, yeah.
Ooh.
Right. Do you know what? I think because he's modified the bike himself, I think I'm going to say super nice on that one. I like it when bikes aren't stock.
Yeah, I'd have to agree. I was.
You were edging towards.
It's not for me, but I see your point. I do see your point, and that could be for some people, and it's different. It's very different.
Clearly his pride and joy. He's put a lot of time into it. I think it's good.
He has. It's different. Yeah. Should we?
Yeah.
I
think so.
Should we? We're doing it.
You were going to be harsh then. You were going to be harsh.
Well,
next up.
That's what you've taught me.
Yeah.
You taught me to be harsh on the bike vault.
Next up, Matt Gontier. What do you make of this giant Propel SL, Manon?
Oh, I mean, absolutely stunning background to begin with, but no, we're not in Biggie Smalls. There's saddlebags, there's bottles. I mean, the bike looks like it's going to fall over a bit.
It does. Apparently, he's using this beachy clear bike stand. That you can see it very subtle, sort of a clear plastic stick sticking down there.
Yeah.
Does look quite good for getting bike shots, but the cranks aren't in the right position. Chains in bit like small big.
Yeah, that does.
Smally bigs.
Yeah.
Oh dear, oh dear.
I mean, I'm loving the background, but
it does look like he's taken a photo seconds before it hit the ground and bent his mech hanger.
Yeah, probably just
jaunty angle. Valves not aligned. I mean, yeah.
Nah, it's a nice.
I'm with you.
Super nice for the background. That's a nice road to do some sprints down.
That is a nice road. It looks like a nice surface.
Yeah, it does.
Nice tarmac. Yeah, no, it is a nice. I wonder where that is.
Not here.
Yeah.
Don't get roads like that here.
Kaizen J is our next entry into the bike vault.
Oh.
A specialised tarmac SL7.
This looks like the Valverde bike, but a S-Works version.
Yes.
Kind of.
He's done well to get an SL7 straight when it's only just come out.
Sidewalls.
Yeah, that's very bling indeed.
The only thing I'm not sure about is the bar tape.
Supercar's bar tape on there.
Green.
Slight clash with the green, but
I think just black would be a bit more
I do like the Roval logos on those.
Are they mirrored as well?
They look like they might be.
Yeah.
I can't fully tell from the picture, but I think this could be a trend that we're seeing on new bikes, which is this kind of like matte satin black finish with like mirrored logos. I'm all for that.
Should I do that on my DIY paint?
Yes,
do that. I mean, I've already bought the paint, and it's not that.
Do your best. Just do your best, Manon.
It's still going to be really good, don't worry.
The GCN Tech audience love a trier, so
I hope so.
Trust me, I'm speaking from experience.
It might be a disaster.
Yeah, do you know what? I know it's a very expensive bike, but I think I agree the bar tape's a slight clash, but it is a super nice bike.
Yeah, definitely it's super nice, yeah. If I was a bike, I'd be that bike.
What do we got next?
Nigel Tay. What has Nigel got? Oh.
Trek.
That's a bit of you. Time trial bike.
Trek Speed Concept 9.9.
Look at those cranks.
Yeah. It's a 2016 model.
Aero.
Bit of a sort of retro paint job on there.
Yeah.
Also, looks like a very small. That photo has been sort of compressed because if you look, his wheels are like ovals.
Yeah.
And the geometry looks all messed up and wrong.
It does a little bit.
Which, I mean, has there been some weird photoshopery going on here? Also, where on earth has he gone for a ride? He's gone to a ride on his time trial bike in a bar.
I do that all the time.
But it's selfish behaviour, man. Well, no one can sit at the bar because his bike's blocking all the stools.
Bike takes priority.
Oh, is it?
Is this a bit of a triathlete's bike?
Yeah, he's got P1 pedals on his Bora Ultra Aero crankset as well. They're pretty cool, those Aero cranksets, those company ones. But he's in the small ring and the big ring at the back, and it looks all wrong. Looks like he's got a KMC black and silver chain on there as well, which is kind of cool. But we can't let this one slide. I mean,
I feel like it could have been done a lot better. Nice bike.
It's just weird that the photo's like squashed up.
Yeah.
I can't look beyond that. It's a nice.
It's a nice.
And what are those people doing in the background?
Having a laugh.
Why are they there? It's just weird. I just don't understand what's going on.
Need an explanation for this.
Yeah. Nice. I think, right, one more this week is from, I mean, this guy's got the greatest username ever.
You can take this one.
XB9W2IZMTC. I think it's like a droid that they forgot to put in Star Wars.
No one's finding him.
Yeah, Boardman Air 9.2 though. He's out on a ride there. What are you making of that, man?
I mean, it's not bike vault worthy, is it really? A nice view.
Yes, it is nice.
I mean, the bike needs to be the other way around. I can see it's not in biggie smalls. I mean, it might be in smalls, but it's definitely not in big.
That's a really nice bike.
Yeah, I like the colours.
And it's you know, it's just, you're not doing it justice.
Flip it round. Maybe come back a little bit.
Yes.
Get a bit more of the bike. That would be lovely.
Also, I'm not quite sure what's going on there on the. If you look on the non-drive side, he's got his rather nice Garmin pedals on there as a power meter, but on the non-drive side crank, there's some kind of weird sensor thing put on there on the outside. Normally, that's designed to go on the inside if it is indeed a cadence sensor.
Yeah, I was going to say, is it a cadence
But also,
sensor?
if it is a cadence sensor, why is it there? Mystery cadence sensor. Because the Garmin pedals measure cadence.
Yeah, well, maybe he didn't have them before and then he's left it on. But
well, again, that's not the kind of behaviour that's going to get you in the Bible, is it? Just lazily leaving on unnecessary sensors.
We wouldn't see that if it was on if you flip the bike
Well,
around.
that's true. We wouldn't. And if the cranks were in the correct.
Do you like the colours, the matte black and the matte red?
Yes, I do like a red.
Yeah.
I do. I'm a big fan of red bikes.
Do you like a red bike?
Yeah, I like red bikes. It's a nice. I think we're in agreement.
Yes. That's it for another week. Put you
Careful,
back.
don't ring it. It's
Sorry.
nice. Unfortunately, that's all we've got time for this week. Hope you've enjoyed the show.
If you fancy it, why not head over to the GCN shop and get yourself some nice snazzy t-shirts or a GCN cap if you didn't win by upgrades.
Yeah, got them in the shop as well. And if you're into live racing, then Race Pass, GCN App, territory restrictions do apply, so you can check before what's available where you are. But if you do have access, I think it's the best way to watch live cycle racing, and
it's a little bit addictive.
Yeah, and catch up on cycle racing that you've missed as well. It's
Definitely.
brilliant. But until then, we'll see you in the next one.